G'day, hi and welcome. If it's the captain's mess, let him. Hey, it's starting to get cleaned up a little bit. Oh, that must be a pretty good captain. He's probably a terribly handsome guy, too. Probably. I mean, I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Okay, so what I got going on here is I'm cleaning the boat slowly but surely. Still using, I didn't use too much of a dilution of this stuff, but the Lysol seems to be working good. I'm only using it in the really tough areas. But I want to show you something. A little trick. And yes, you're welcome. So you got a boat, right? Maybe it's a sailboat like the Random here, and a really nice sailboat. It's not quite dry yet. And oh my God, you got some water built up over there. And you got some water that just sits over there. I mean, it's not big enough to be a pool, so it's not useful. So you gotta want to get rid of it, right? You don't want water sitting in any one spot on your boat. But some boats will do that, particularly around the gun walls. Here's how you get rid of it. What you do, okay, take your rope. And you don't have to do much with the rope here. You just gotta pull one end through. Hang on. You just gotta pull one end through with one hand. Why were human beings only designed with two arms? Like, really? You pull it through. Okay, you pull it through. There, like so. You hang a good proportion of it over the boat. Then you take, you can go like this, probably something like that. Okay, and just put it where it's the most deepest kind of thing. Now, what you probably, wait for it. Or you're going to see it, it's basically it wicks it out of the boat. You can see, come back in about half an hour, that's all gone. And you can do that just with any little piece of rope, and it works well, you know. And I wish they, just as a prank, I wish they had little ropes like that look like snakes, just to freak people out. Is that wrong? Well, I'm part pirate, so psychological warfare is type of my. Well, anyway, but you can see it. Wait, wow, this one's really working well. And then what happens is after a while, the rope dries out. And when it rains again, it sucks up the water. So you can just see it. It just dripped like crazy off of that. I don't know if you guys can see from here. I'll try not to drop my phone. I can't tell if it's an angle or not. Hopefully it is. But you see what's going on here. So it just wicks it up. I don't have one for the other side, but that side dries out really quick. Strangely, this is the sunward side. And okay, so how did the Lysol do? Well, it's kind of hard to tell, but it it is working. You can see it really worked really well up here. This stuff is the worst spot of the boat, but you can see it's slowly. Look at that! It's just dry. See it all? Okay, this is osmosis. Okay, you see it gray? When it's gray, it looks dead, but it's not dead. It's alive. You see when it's brown? Well, when it's brown, it just flakes away and goes away. So, hang on. See? You see some of it just coming out? It's like, I'm dead, man. You killed me with the Lysol. So, it'll take a couple of goes, but it looks like it's going to work. A lot of elbow grease, but it looks like it's going to work. So, hard brush. Up here is looking good. I got it still a little bit there, and this boat's still looking good. It's cool as I'm cleaning it. You have to understand, there's so much wax on this deck. And so even when I clean it, it kind of re-wax it and shines it up. But the goal is to get all this stuff off. And it's very hard to get out once it's in there really good. But take your time with it every time. If I had a pressure washer, probably half of it would be gone. This side is almost perfect. You can see I just did down to there today. The other worst areas, I took some photos. I should have took photos under here, but getting in there with a smaller brush. Ooh, that window's hot. Really hot on the leg. But I'm getting under there, so I am taking the railings off fairly soon. I got to make sure I get my marine caulking before I do that. I'm not going to take all the hardware off. The only place it's leaking, I think, is right at that one, right there. And they unbolt from the inside, which is nice. But they're due for a nice freshen up anyway. So I'll take them off, sand them down a bit. Get some new varnish on there, make it look pretty, and I'll let my snake. Oh my God, a snake! It's like you do it. Ooh, snake! See, if you do it fast, it's like if you do it slow, it's like okay, it's a rope. But if you do it fast, ooh, snake! You know that's when you get, like if you know somebody's on the boat, you just go like that. You wait till they see it. The second they see it, then you yell snake, and psychologically they'll think it's a snake. They may fall overboard, but as long as you're not going too fast, you should be able to turn around and get them. Okay, scratch that tip. I'm not supposed to put that tip out there. It is funny though. Okay, so anyway, that's what I got going on. So the boat is getting cleaner, slowly but surely. Again, doing everything with a very low pressure garden hoses and elbow grease. It'll do it. It's just it takes a lot longer. I just don't have the money for a small, like little Simonized pressure washer. That was one of the goals I had for this boat. It was about, I don't know, 150 bucks or whatever they are, but I got too many things to pay for. But you can still get the same for elbow grease. Now this boat isn't going in the water anytime soon, so I can take my time with it. But you can see where the water builds up there and there. It'll even do it when it's in the boat's in the water. It's not just where it is on land. It's just actually, if anything, I think it comes because the boat's a little bit more banana shaped, so I think it comes down a bit more. But just is what it is. So where the water builds up, that's also where it gets the most grungiest, because it's where all the sediment washes too, right? And you can see all the buds from the trees, because the leaves are starting to finally come out. So all the buds from the leaves are, making a huge mess on my poor little boat. But I'm going to clean it a little bit more. Once I get it a little bit more satisfactory, I'm going to start applying the wax to it. There's enough wax on it that I don't mind. I don't have to do it right away. It's not going to dry out the boat in 5 minutes. So, but it is preventive maintenance. Again, considering this boat is probably anywhere from a couple of years younger than me to just about the same age as me, it really does pay off in the long run. But there's going to be a lot of stuff I'm going to have to do just to make this boat, even if I'm not sailing it, if I want to sell it, a clean boat sells better and more expensive. Just washing the boat adds $2,000 to the boat. I'm not kidding on that. Like, it literally adds $2,000 to the boat, because if it is clean, it's good, right? Meanwhile, the boat, a dirty boat that's in phenomenal condition, again, will sell for less, unless you know exactly what you want. But people will offer you less. But when it's bright and shiny and clean, and this is a pretty bright, shiny, clean boat. One day with a pressure washer with this thing, and I mean, I could still see, like, just from the work I've done from previous years, the shine is still on the boat. It doesn't take much. Like I say, even just going like this okay, hang on, till my hand gets hot. You see there's a shine already, and it's not very chalky. So keeping the boat clean keeps the boat good. But it's also a good way to find out where all your cracks are and your leaks and all that stuff. Yes, I'm going to redo all this stuff, revarnish all that stuff. It looked so good when I bought the boat, but that was 10 years ago. I can't believe I've owned this boat 10 years. And sadly, I've only sailed it for 2. So you say, Reg, get rid of the boat. It's bought and paid for. If the money was right, yeah, it would go. If somebody was waving money in front of me, yeah, I'd probably go. But I do, if my money comes up again, like last year, I was getting ready to put this sucker back in the water, and and it didn't happen. But it will go in the water again. And this boat is fun to sail. It's easy to sail. It's not a race boat, but I would probably trade it for, like, say, a J24 or even a J22 with a trailer. A race boat, or a Kirby 25 with a trailer. Even if the Kirby 25 needed a little bit of work. It's just the idea that I'd have the trailer, and we got the truck. Not that truck, because that poor old truck's dead, but that truck's dead, and my car's dead, and my van's dead, and my other van's dead. My trailer's not doing so good. I am selling that. And but my boat looks good. But everything else I got is busted, but my boat looks good. So anyway, I'll just wrap it up like that. I don't want to go on too long. I'll be showing you the stuff I'm doing as I'm doing it. Again, it's not going in the water probably at this rate, probably not for another decade, but hopefully my financial situation returns back to what it was. Then who knows, I could have had the boat in the water this year. It's May, and getting near the end of May. It's like, it wouldn't be worth it. I got too many toys right now. I'm really fascinated with the motorcycle, so it's like I'm putting my effort on that right now. But the sailboat idea of it, getting it back in the water, it is something that could happen. I never know. And I'm also, if people wanted to do like a timeshare, but the one thing is they'd be paying the cost. Say, okay, yeah, you don't have to buy a boat this year. You can use mine, but you got to put it in the water. You got to pay for it, and you really can't modify it because it's mine, right? Unless you any modifications you do, I can't pay you for. But if I was able to say, okay, give me 1 week on it, and you can use it the entire summer, I won't even bug you. I do that too. I've seen people do stuff like that where it's like one guy owns a boat, but 6 people use it. But that also gets kind of conflicting when everybody wants to use it on the weekends and stuff like that. But it is a cheaper way to get into yachting. Maybe I'll save that for another video because that's a good video. But anyway, yeah, so today I'm just cleaning up, getting there. Probably going to go through a couple of these. Highly recommend that Lysol stuff, but just use it where you need to, where it's really dirty, because that stuff is kind of toxic. So, well, it's not kind of toxic. Like they say, if it doesn't cause cancer, it won't do the job. But you can see I'm even getting down there all nice and clean. Unplugged my drain plugs, cockpit plugs, drains. But anyway, yeah, maybe I'll do a second video there about what I was just talking about.